The mid-season update, or Season 4 Reloaded, is coming here for Warzone and Black Ops Cold War as of next week. So today I want to take a little bit of time to talk about some changes we can expect to see here, confirmed and also very likely to be coming here within this update. As we go along, let me know your thoughts down below. Are there any changes, adjustments, or content you hope to see coming that hasn't quite been touched on either in this video or elsewhere in the official realms of things? And also, what are you looking forward to the most here out of the mid-season update? Let me know in the comments down below, but hopefully enjoy the video. If you do, make sure you drop a like down below. Let's aim for 1,000 likes here on this video. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing, especially as we're gearing up for Season 4 Reloaded. If you want to stay up to date with all of that, hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you in the community. And finally, a big thank you to these legends for using code ESPRESSO in the in-game item shop in Warzone, Cold War, or Modern Warfare. It's entirely optional, but if you ever decide to do so, tweet me a picture. I'd love to shout out some of your generous support. That said, let's jump right into the changes at hand. So in this video, we're mostly going to be talking about things like technical changes and things that you'll actually feel gameplay side, not necessarily content additions, but we'll touch on that just kind of to reiterate at the very end of the video. But starting out with the Warzone side of things, there's a lot of things that are on the smaller technical side that have been logged in the Trello board for this year and also have been mentioned in previous patch notes. As for some of those technical changes starting out on the Warzone side of things, one big one is that there looks to be a fix for the sliding and aiming down sight bug, which has actually predated Warzone. It's been in Modern Warfare for as long as I can remember. I'm pretty sure since launch even. But the issue here at hand is that if you end up sliding on a downward sloped surface, you actually couldn't use your aim and pull it down. You couldn't look below where you were sliding, and instead it was kind of at the sort of 0 degree mark, the horizon. If you were to look above or below that point, you couldn't actually pull down on your aim, which is actually a huge problem if you have somebody that is still lower than you and you're engaged in a gunfight. Raven ended up going on Twitter and saying that this was a bug that was being fixed out here and should be fixed out in this next update. Additionally, in terms of bugs being fixed out, the scavenger box locations that have been spawning into off-limit locations are going to be fixed out with this update as well. I've been seeing a lot of clips of these around in either Red Door bunker locations or in, say, Nakatomi Plaza up in the vault there. So there's a lot of locations around the world that these spawn in areas you actually cannot get to. So those should be fixed out as well. The Trello board details a number of different smaller and more technical things here, like Xbox players getting kicked out when trying to load into Verdansk. You just straight up couldn't play at some points here if you're on Xbox. Memory errors on Xbox One, black screen during exfil on Xbox One, where it would require the game to restart and then would not track that previous game stats. There were forced reinstallations of game files on console, like a sort of re-downloading of the update every single time, and the BNet launcher just straight up sometimes would not launch Warzone. Now, what I'd also expect, but isn't explicitly written out or anything like that, is some weapon balancing here at this, because in Season 4's update, we ended up seeing some weapon tuning made, and Raven's been actually on the ball with pretty much doing weapon tuning every single major title update so far in the last couple of months. But as of Season 4's, they mentioned a sweeping TTK balance in which they were going to increase the global average TTK by about 60 to 100 milliseconds, which doesn't seem like a whole ton when you think about that interval of time, but when you think about it in an in-game environment, that is a huge change, and it is something that could be coming as of this update, which would effectively change a lot of the meta, giving players a lot more time to react, and on a much more minuscule level, slow down the gameplay, perhaps, of Warzone overall. Additional changes that may be coming here that have been hinted at are a change to the global lighting within Verdansk. This is something that Reed Shingledecker, the lead VFX artist over at Raven working on Warzone here, has mentioned in the past, that it's something that he's looking into changing here for everybody. And if you've played Warzone at all, if you look off into the east, you look into that sun, you're going to be blinded. A lot of the times, I honestly hate taking engagements when I'm looking from the west to the east up on a hillside or a cliff like that, because it's just impossible to see a player with that massive lens flare that happens in the background when you're looking at the sun. So to have a global lighting adjustment has been something that's been asked for quite some time, and looks like it actually could be coming as early as of this update here next week. And another potential change that could be coming as early as of this update, and I say a big emphasis on potential, is that of a potential change or counter to dead silence within Warzone. Raven ended up talking about in the Season 4 patch notes an entire small section saying some thoughts on perks. We are exploring all avenues in terms of changes to provide fair and reactable counterplay options to dead silence. A decision like this must be made carefully, especially considering how it may destabilize other aspects of the game. We cannot promise anything at the moment, but as we close in on an appropriate solution, we will share more details. Sit tight. So this could mean they adjust some things in the way of dead silence, whether that be something as easy and simple as just lowering the spawn rate of the field upgrade, all the way up to adding in, say, an awareness perk that allows you to end up hearing dead silence. Obviously, those are two extremes, likely both of which won't happen here, though it would definitely be interesting to see how new perks being added into Warzone would work out. And one thing that I definitely have squared away in the back of my mind is that if they can do something about dead silence, I hope they can do something about Ghost here in the future. And I'm not saying that you need to nullify to the point where there is no place for it in Warzone. I think I'd be honestly okay with if buying 3 UAVs for $12,000 in-game would make an advanced UAV so that you could see ghosted players for 45 seconds or so like that. I'd be all for that. But anyways, that's the Warzone changes here that we know are coming and that likely could be coming with this update. So before we jump on over to the other side here with Black Ops Cold War changes, I'm gonna take a second and let you guys know about what's happening over with the Call of Duty League. The CDL is approaching Season 2's peak. With a home series hosted by New York going on right now, the action for Stage 5, the final stage before Champs, kicks off. There's a few matches that are set to be blockbusters this weekend, but with Stage 5, we'll see the pressure building. For some, it's a warm-up to Champs. Others, it's do or die to clinch a playoff spot. It all leads to Major 5, where fates will be sealed and for the first time in a year, in front of fans. All on the line with the main stage hype, all in person. You can catch all the action, playoff clinching clutches, heartbreaker finales, and all while scoring yourself some exclusive loot like calling cards and emblems for just linking your accounts and watching the Major 5 Sunday matches. To learn more and check out all the action, make sure you click the link in the description below. But that said, let's talk about these changes coming in Black Ops Cold War. A lot of what we have here on Black Ops Cold War side of things already detailed aren't necessarily for multiplayer. It is possible we end up seeing a little bit more weapon balancing here with this and everything, but when we talk about the confirmed stuff, that all comes down to zombies. Detailed in yesterday's accompanying blog post with the trailer for the new map Mauer Toten, we ended up learning a lot about the upcoming changes for zombies within Black Ops Cold War, but there's a lot that actually do stand out. Firstly, there's going to be changes to the zombies' health cap reductions. For regular zombies, it's reduced to only plus 100% health at high rounds. That's actually down from plus 300%. Special zombies are reduced down to plus 50% at high rounds, which is down from 100, which would be doubling that health. Elites are down to 25% additional health here at high rounds, and that's down from 100, and HVTs are down to plus 10% health at high rounds, which is again down from 100%, a significant nerf on that one. So if I'm reading and taking in that knowledge properly, you should be able to zoom through higher rounds much faster now, given the health scaling doesn't make it absurdly long to secure kills when you're getting to those super high levels. So definitely cool to see. Armored zombies will have their durability reduced as well, for both medium and heavy zombies by 30%. There's detailed as being sniper damage and stock ammo buffs, which is definitely nice, so that means you'll be able to have more in your magazines for zombies. And pack-a-punch melee weapons will have buffs as well, doing a little bit more damage there. Equipment, support, and field upgrades will all have damage scaling improvements that should scale their damage evenly, as Treyarch has mentioned. Equipment and support will now be much more consistent in their ability to kill enemies, and the lethal equipment and ground-based support streaks will see an increase in damage in many instances. But of course, that's on top of already all the things we know is going to be coming in terms of content additions. For zombies, staying on that front, you of course have Mauer Toten, that new standalone map with the main quest going live next Thursday afternoon or morning, depending on where you're at in the world. The new perk of Mule Kick, which will allow you to have a third weapon here in your armory. The new weapon of the CRBRS, or the Cerberus, and a new craftable item as well. But also on the MP side of things, you're going to end up seeing things like Rush as a 6v6 map, which may not be the only map we end up seeing here, depending on if Treyarch ends up dropping another map later on in the second half of Season 4 like they've done in the past. There's of course going to be that new weapon of the OTS-9, and then also the Mace later on, another operator in the way of Weaver, and of course other things along the way. We may also end up seeing a brand new event for Season 4 Reloaded across Warzone and Cold War, so there's a lot of stuff that is definitely coming, but when you think about the technical things here, I'm very excited to see what can come in some of these changes. One big one, again, still hoping, though not really having my hopes up too high, Dark Ether, man. Raven, give us Dark Ether, man. It's almost been 7 months at this point. I don't know if I can take grinding out DM Ultra to have a Mastery Camo in Warzone on my Cold War weapons. But anyways, that is the changes here that you can expect out of next week's mid-season update for Season 4 across Warzone, Cold War, and maybe Modern Warfare. We'll see what happens here with that. Maybe they drop something randomly, but for the time being, that's where we're at here. I would love to get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below. What do you guys think of this? Are you looking forward to any of these changes here? Anything that you hope to see that we didn't necessarily cover? Whatever it is, feel free to let me know your thoughts down below. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so I'm a single thing running all things Warzone, Cold War, and anything COD related. We'll keep it the day with all of it. If you guys are also interested in following me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get cracked outside of YouTube. I live on both those. So if you want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. But that said, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.